Hi guys, this is Androidpipe.com and here with the game Rayman Classic, available for free in the Play Store, and I'm playing it on the HTC Desire 10 Lifestyle. This is the very first Rayman game from back in 1995. It was available on the PlayStation, Sega Saturn, Atari and MS-DOS, so it's a 21-year-old game that has been ported to Android among others, and finally it's available for free after being available for a price for a while. Of course, free means it has ads, it brings the colorful Rayman here. Back then this game offered the 65,000 colors and 2D graphics, and it was a very hard to play platformer. Very frustrating. Some of you may remember its frustration and the fact that it was also pretty joyous, colorful, and flower power, always happy, smiling. That's what good old Rayman was all about, and he had quite a few powers. Back then platformers meant Mario or Mega Man simply jumping and sometimes fighting enemies by jumping on their heads. This time Rayman could punch people, I mean critters, and not only punch them, but he could use his hair as a helicopter pallet, and that was nice. He also gained extra powers like hanging on to ledges, throwing an extra long punch on a long distance like I'm doing right now, and he can also collect power-ups which will increase, for example, the speed and the power of his punch. Okay, so we're gathering items here, and aside from gathering these blue thingies, we must also save a bunch of critters from their cage and try not to waste all of our lives as I just did right now. And we got the main lives here, we got 99 of them because we activated the easy mode. And there are also 5 sub lives which are wasted simply by running into an enemy, a spike or things like that. So right now I'm riding on a mosquito which I actually defeated before. He was a boss of one of the levels in the lagoon. And the game is a basic platformer slash side runner, and the small details are the one that matters here. So for example, if you punch an enemy, you'll see his eyes or teeth remaining behind, and that's a funny approach. If you punch a piranha, you'll see his teeth prosthetics falling in the water, and that's funny. So it's in the small details, that's what makes the game so fun. Let's punch this villain if we can. If not, well, try again. Things are really speeding up here. Trying not to fall or hit the spikes. Only one life left. And here we go. That's the end of the level, marked by a special exclamation mark. And that's how you finish a level. And then you can move forward. There are 6 universes available in Rayman Classic. We got Dream Forest, there's Bandland, Blue Mountains, the Picture City, Caves of Shops, and Candy Chateau, so everything is colorful, childish and playful. Back then people were fascinated by how colorful and optimistic the game was. It got a bunch of awards. The most awards were received for its music. It has an excellent soundtrack, and while the controls were, let's say, okay back in the 90s, the touchscreen implementation is not my favorite. As you can see, we got buttons here, and we got a virtual thumbstick that appears on the left side of the screen and then disappears, which may be annoying sometimes. It remains a work of art, a true classic, a game that you have to play to understand where the current platformers got their inspiration and their start. Keep in mind that Rayman became a franchise. It had its own spin-off with some crazy rabbits. I don't know how the rabbits got involved, but anyway, the main character is this blonde fellow who just got his bottom spiked. Unlike all the platformers you've been playing on Android, this is quite hard, has a high difficulty level, especially if you choose not to get help and not to get those 99 lives like I have. But then it's also fun and rewarding, especially if you play in the harder level of difficulty. So it's quite challenging compared to what you get on Android nowadays. The controls are a bit, well, not exactly perfect, and we finally made it. At least Rayman is able to hang on to ledges, and that helps a bit. The level is done, and now we move forward. The mechanics are not very complex. You get the usual traps, enemies, and at least, unlike Mario, you do not have to jump on enemies' heads to finish them. You simply have to avoid them or punch them. So that's an idea. Sometimes the controls don't respond perfectly, so a punch may not be executed, while sometimes you may press by mistake the jump button. You also have to duck, so that's yet another element to worry about, unlike most platformers nowadays. It's colorful, joyous, it's a classic, it's quite difficult as a platformer, well, should be, at least in the 90s, and we played it with a lot of nostalgia and joy. That's what Rayman Classic is all about, and once again we failed because of a minute detail. It's all in the details. The same mistake over and over again. My favorite level from back in the 90s when I played the game the first time was one filled with musical notes where every step you took made a musical note appear and be heard, and that was pure art form, and I was very fascinated by it. I was 9 years old and Rayman was really amazing at the time. Now it's just a classic available for free in the Play Store and I'm failing at it miserably. So here at Androidpipe.com I'm going to go ahead and give it an 8.7 out of 10. It's a classic, it's free in the Play Store, it must be played to remind you of the good old days of platformers, and once again 8.7 out of 10, and I've played it on the HTC Desire 10 Lifestyle. Bye bye!